What up, your Timmons here. Now, here is my throwback segment where I talk about the films that turns 10 and 20 this week. All right. The films that are turning 10, we of course got the Twilight Saga Breaking Dawn Part 2. Of course, the final installment of the Twilight franchise. And I admit, I don't mind this, I don't hate on the Twilight films as most people do, but I admit the last one was made the best out of the franchise. I thought it was a really decent way to end the franchise off. It was really entertaining, was really intriguing here. And yeah, I mean, say whatever you want about the Twilight films. Like they do have their fan base. They've made tons of money. Like together, let me see how much the Twilight films made all together. Twilight movies box office. Like the Twilight films in general, all made about of course, the first one made about 470.1 million. Breaking Dawn part two, of course made about 829.7 million. I mean, doesn't really tell you how much the combined total is, but these movies, like, they make some really good though. They have their fan base, so you can say whatever you want about the Twilight films. They were always major fan favorites, box office draws, and all. I mean, I remember when the first Twilight movie got released, back in 2008. I had no idea what the heck Twilight was. I never I'm not a book reader. I never read the book or anything like that, so I didn't really knew too much about the first Twilight. When I first saw it. And I still remember, being in school at the time when it was released, and almost lots of the kids in my old school played hooky to go see the first Twilight. So that's how popular this franchise became. And yeah, I mean, of course, it made stars out of Robert Pattinson, Kristen Stewart. I mean, Robert Pattinson, of course, is not just that Twilight boy anymore. Like the dude, since the Twilight films has ended, he really showcased his acting abilities with the Batman, Good Time, Lighthouse. This dude is remarkable, and so is Chris Stewart. Taylor Lautner doesn't really do much anymore nowadays. Uh, but yeah, say whatever you want about the Twilight films, they are still very popular. They make tons of dough, so hey, it is what it is. Yeah. But my favorite film that's actually in the 10 years one is, of course, The Silver Linings Playbook. Of course, the movie that won Jennifer Lawrence her first ever Oscar. Uh, of course, 10 years ago, Jennifer Lawrence also did The Hunger Games as well. So ironic that Jennifer Lawrence had a movie opening up against Twilight, since The Hunger Games became the big YA franchise, after part two. But yeah, of course, Bradley Cooper was great. Robert De Niro, David O. Russell. Before he did the terrible Amsterdam, he did great with Silver Linings Playbook, and I did my review for that. You can find that on my page. But yeah, Silver Linings Playbook is a fantastic film. Really great humor. You even got Chris Tucker is in this, so that says something too. I mean, definitely go check out Silver Linings Playbook. Oh boy, now. Oh, and also turning 10, we got Anna Karenina, directed by Joe Wright, who gave us Darkest Hour, starring Keira Knightley, Matthew McFadden, of course, based on a very classic story on 1877 novel, which there's been other adaptations of Anna Karenina. I was not too big with this one. I love Keira Knightley, like her, and Joe Wright also did. What else did they do together? They also did Atonement together, but this I just wasn't all that big with. So yeah. All right. Also, turning 20. Holy cow! Not the first, but the second, and that is Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. I mean, I cannot believe how this thing, not the first Harry Potter, but the second turns 20. Like the first one, I believe turns 21 now, if I'm not mistaken. So Yeah, of course, this gave us our debut of Dolby the House Elf, which, by the way, do not if you're in the UK, do not stop leaving your socks on Dobby's gravesite. That's not cool. But that aside, which look it up if you guys don't know what I'm talking about. That aside, I love Chamber of Secrets. I mean, my favorite Harry Potter film is still Prisoner of Azkaban, but I still love the second one. You know, it was a really decent follow up to Sorcerer's Stone, and of course, the last Harry Potter movie should be directed by Christopher Columbus. But really terrific film here. All right. Also turning 20 is the Steven Seagal classic Half Past Dead, which, if you guys don't know much about the story here, the film tells the story of a criminal who infiltrates a prison to interrogate a prisoner about the location of a fortune in gold, while an undercover FBI agent has to stop him. You of course have Morris Chestnut, Ja Rule is in this. Of course, at the time, Ja Rule became a little bit trying to get into the acting biz. You know, I believe he was in. I can't remember if it was the first or the second. I believe he was in Too Fast, Too Fierce, if I'm not mistaken, or was it the first one? One of the two. Steven Seagal, which I always think, hey, I'm saying this now. Steven Seagal is a bad actor. He's he's a god awful actor, but he is actually one of my favorite action stars. Like when he talks, it's a little bit cringy, but when he does action, like he really nails it out of the park. And he's been some really great stuff. I mean, bonus question: what are some of your favorite Steven Seagal movies? You know, comment below. Obviously, Under Siege will definitely be one. Above the Law, he's done some not so great films, but he's also done some action classics. So, but that's pretty much it there. Let me leave you guys. Which of these films stand out to you the most? The Tenny one is, as much as I didn't mind Breaking Dawn Part 2, the one that I'm actually going to go with will actually be Civil Lines Playbook. That is a better film out of that list. And obviously the 20-year one, Chamber of Secrets. Drop comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for notification. This is Jimmy Sign out.